Hi, and welcome to our presentation about the Healthcare Success On-Site Marketing Consultation and Plan. I'm Stuart Gandolf.
And I'm Kathy Gorin.
Great. And we're going to walk you through for just a few minutes about what our marketing on-site plan is all about. So first of all, the key thing is, if you're watching this video, chances are you want to attract new patients and you're hoping to create marketing systems that are profitable and that work on an ongoing basis. And that's exactly what the point of the marketing plan process is all about. Kathy?
Part of the process is to evaluate your current situation, your current and previous marketing, as well as the competition. The competition is a big part of our analytic process to determine what they're doing, what AdWords they're buying, where they're running their advertisements, what they're doing internally, so that you can put yourself in the best position to compete fruitfully.
The mission of our company is all about scientific marketing that delivers patients. And if you don't know anything about us, we have a team of specialists, all of whom specialize in, just like in medicine, in their areas of expertise. I'll cover that in just a few minutes. We write a lot. We speak a lot. We share our knowledge with our peers and with others. We also have a national seminar series. We have a blog with many thousands of subscribers worldwide. We're Google partners. We actually work very closely with Google. We're well known to them because of our niche working in healthcare. There's very, very few clients that are at the premier partner status that focus exclusively in healthcare, which is why they approached us essentially and why we work with them. Again, I'm Stuart Gandolf. I co-founded the company. I've been doing this for about 20 years.
And I'm Kathy Gorin, also working alongside Stuart for 20 years. Thousands of clients. I believe we've hit every market in the United States as well as Canada, Trinidad, Mexico, all over the world. And lots and lots and lots of experience of working with all of you and your practices firsthand.
All right. Raheem Bundle is our digital strategist who also works as a consultant with our clients. Peter Doe is, again, a digital marketing strategist who works with many of our clients as well. And that's our core consulting team. Our services are digital marketing, branding, advertising, doctor referral training, patient experience and training, publicity. So again, you're watching this video because we recommended to you that you start off with a best practices marketing audit and plan. And essentially, we think that's really critical because the first thing is, just like treating a patient, we recommend you start off with a history, an examination, a diagnosis, and a treatment plan. You wouldn't cut into a patient, right, on a surgery without first doing an exam and diagnosis. Your marketing deserves the same levels of expertise and thoughtfulness.
And you can't fix what you don't know is wrong. So again, part of our process is this diagnostic force that we come at the practice with in terms of how your staff's handling the phones, what you're doing with your digital campaign, how effectively your current marketing is working for you. We evaluate everything. We're peeling back the layers of those onions to make sure that we are choosing and recommending the appropriate strategies that fit your situation.
Third thing is we look at the marketing planning fee as an insurance policy. It makes sense to spend that energy and effort up front to make sure that dollars are invested wisely later. And finally, a lot of times we work with hospitals and practices just to get everybody on board. Many times you have conflicting opinions from doctors, administrators, managers, marketing people. A big part of what we do is help get people on the same page. So how does the process work? Well, the first step is we send you a questionnaire. We want to review samples of your marketing. We oftentimes will have multiple conference calls and web videos, sometimes on-site meetings as well, depending on the case.
And this process takes anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks for us to do due diligence in our research and get prepared for our visit.
We have an entire team of experts that I'll talk about in a moment. Again, we have about 25 people in our company. Each of these people are a process expert, and essentially they'll be looking at you from multiple points of view. So the first step that you'll actually begin to get advice is when we have our report of findings call. We typically do that via video conference, so we don't have to bring everybody in my company to your offices. Instead, each process expert will share their areas of expertise in order via web video. This is an extremely meaty and thorough meeting. We'll be spending typically about 3 to 4 hours with you and your team to cover every aspect of your business from a marketing point of view. So we'll be looking at the effectiveness of current marketing and begin to make preliminary recommendations during this phase. So we'll be talking about, are you winning the battle for patients online? How does your website compare to your competition? What does your SEO look like, again, compared to the competition? What digital advertising opportunities do you have? What about social media? What are the opportunities there? What about traditional advertising? We'll even mystery shop your front desk or your phone center and record them and grade them and provide you specific recommendations on what's working and what's not. Then Kathy, Peter, Raheem, me, or somebody else will come out and visit you. Sometimes we'll send a couple of people out to your office. We oftentimes will start off with a leadership meeting in the evening. That's oftentimes the first step to get everybody on the same page. We find that a lot of times, especially if doctors are involved, they want to avoid cutting production hours. So we'll have the first meeting in the evening. Many times we'll have dinner. During that time, we'll talk about refined recommendations, going to the next step, following the report of findings. And again, now we're getting very specific about doctor referral building, digital marketing, patient experience, branding, free press, how to advertise, and budgeting. Kathy, you talk about budget a lot.
Yes, we actually developed a slide deck that walk you through a budgeting formula. We've used this budgeting formula for years, and it's a combination of looking at your growth objective and how to budget properly to reach your growth objective, as well as equity protection and making sure we've put systems in place to protect what you've built. Really important that both of those two things go hand in hand.
So we also, of course, want your input. So we're open feedback. I joke oftentimes we're not Moses coming off the mountains with tablets. We want to get your input as well. Now, the next day, oftentimes, again, this varies by practice or hospital, we will meet again with the key stakeholders. We find that typically a lot happens during these meetings. It's very thorough, very fast, and most people say something like, I want to sleep on it. And we say, yes, that's a really good idea, right? So we oftentimes will meet the next day. Again, it depends on the situation. And then following, either during the visit or immediately afterward, we actually put together all the things we've shared, the PowerPoint, all the different assets, as well as a written narrative to summarize our findings. And each of these things that you would typically expect, like objectives, positioning, branding, recommendations, all these things will be tied together for you, very clear, very specific, based upon our experience and your input.
It's a strategy, not a list of things to choose from, but a cohesive strategy where everything fits together to meet your objectives. So it's important that you look at it as a whole and not individual pieces.
All right. In terms of the investment for the on-site program, even including travel, for practices, it typically begins at $9,500. It can be, if there's many locations and many doctors, it's going to be more than that. Maybe $15,000. For hospitals, it's typically $15,000, $20,000, or maybe a little bit north of that, depending on the situation. Obviously, if it's a hospital system, it's much more than that. But in most cases, we try to keep our fees at this stage as affordable as possible, but still at least compensate us so we at least break even on all the work our team does in those very intensive 45 days up to and including your visit.
And the price points through too, I wanted to mention, will tie in with the number of locations, number of physicians, how much territory we need to evaluate and cover.
Absolutely.
But it is a great investment. Stuart and I do the work ourselves alongside the team, and it is tremendous value for us to be able to share our experiences specifically related to exactly what your practice has been experiencing.
Now, very importantly, we're not just consultants. We don't just give advice. We actually do the work. So most people go into this hoping that we're going to be the doctor or the surgeon stays with them. They're not just looking for an exam. They're not just looking for advice. So a key factor here is all those people you've grown to love during this process are now on your team. So most people want us to become their marketing partner and outsource their marketing, a portion or all of it, to our team. So during the launch phase, typically, we're going to do a lot of creative work. We're going to do branding. We might do setting up online programs. We might do training. Typically, there's a 2 to 4 month process during a launch phase to get things going. Following that, we stay with you on an ongoing basis, monthly, for typically a minimum of a year after that, and many times most clients stay with us year and year and year out. They stay with us because why would they stop something that's working? Marketing changes, the market changes, and we stay with you. So that's not required, it's optional, but most people want to, otherwise why would they start this whole thing? So one final comment here is everything we do at this stage is tracked and recorded in a very specific proprietary reporting platform. There'll be soft stuff like number of website visitors, but also recorded phone calls, very specific conversion data, how much you spent, This is very, very detailed and very comprehensive.
And invaluable.
Yeah.
You cannot make decisions moving forward without this tracking data. And we have perfected it over the years. This has taken us years to get to this level of detail in our tracking platform. So we're excited about it.
So if you have questions more about what happens on the back end, after the Marketing Onsite program, I invite you to watch our video about Welcome to our agency. But otherwise, thank you for listening and hope we can help you. Give us a call and we will point in the right direction.
Yeah, we look forward to meeting you.